welcome to Dragonfly Trading. My name is Carrie. I'm a full-time trader and also a mentor in the crypto and Forex market. Today's video, we're going to take a look at Bitcoin and ETH. I am opening up a free Discord. I will be popping in and out of this free Discord. If you're interested in joining, the link for it is in the description below. Also, still running the sale on the course. You want to learn to trade these markets all on your own without anybody else's advice and opinion? Take advantage of that sale for the course. All right, let's get started. So we are on Bitcoin and the all-time price history. Now there's always a big debate about what exactly wave that Bitcoin is in, where exactly is it at, and you could ask 50 different people and you probably get 50 different opinions. But let's take a look at this and the fact and the rules of Elliott Wave and see if we can come up with a bias. So the first idea that we are looking at is that Bitcoin is in a series of ones and twos, meaning that it is in a nest, that we have not yet to see the big third wave that is going to happen. Now, as long as Bitcoin has been around since 09 to 24, this would be the length in time it would take to make a complete 5-wave move. But I think that the issue that everyone is having is that it hasn't completed it yet. That it either is in a series of ones and twos or that it hasn't completed the 5-wave move yet. That will be the next idea. But first, let's take a look at this nest and the rules of a nest. So the first rule, or not a rule, but the first thing about a nest is that the ones and twos find support very close to each other or on top of each other. Right in this area here is the perfect example where this higher degree one and this lower degree one overlap. So I have said this in prior videos that in Elliott Wave, there's only two areas that are allowed to overlap, ones and twos or threes and fours. All of the in between that in the third wave cannot overlap. So in this area here, it either has to be threes and fours or it has to be ones and twos. Also, the lower in degree you go in ones and twos, the smaller they should be. If we look at this and the percent-wise, this first 1 and 2 was the biggest percent move. That would be typical. That's what you would want to see. As we get to the lower degrees, it gets smaller in percent-wise. That is perfect. We wouldn't want to see this 1 and 2 be smaller in size than this 1 and 2. We want them to go smaller. Also, another thing that I came across is all of these bear markets are not big enough in time to correct any entire structure. So if we wanted to say that this move was complete here and that this was the pullback of the main 1 and 2, meaning that this was a complete 5-wave move and this was the pullback for it, it is nowhere near big enough in time to be correcting this entire move. Now, each one of these bear markets are just big enough in time to correct the run before it. So this wave 2 is just big enough in time to correct this wave 1. This wave 2 is just big enough in time to correct this wave 1. And if this is the low, this wave 2 is just big enough in time to correct this wave 1. Also, if you take a look, each one of these bear markets got shorter in time. This one was 630 days. This one was 406 days. And this one, if this is the low, is 392. Also, you want your wave 2s to be getting shorter in time because they're of lower degree. So everything about this being a nest pans out. I haven't found anything about this being a nest that's invalid. It's actually pretty perfect. Okay, so let's take a look at the alternative idea. Now, again, remember what I said. Up in this area, we have an overlap. So because of that, it can only be 1s and 2s or 3s and 4s. So if it is 3s and 4s, then we have to find our third wave first, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, leading into a main third wave. This higher degree wave 4, if this is the low, is not big enough in time to be correcting from this 2 all the way to this 3. As you can see, minimum time comes in February 3rd of 25. Now, if this becomes a B wave, and we put in an equal size leg to this one, as you can see, here is the equal size leg, close enough to minimum time. So if this is the idea, then this wave 4 would need to be moved over. It's not long enough in time to be correcting this entire move. So there's problem number 1. Problem number 2 is that you want your third wave to be significantly bigger than your wave 1. And as you can see, it is about half the size. Now, in Elliott Wave, the rule is it can't be the shortest wave. Okay. So with that being said, it's okay for now, but we would need a wave 5 that doesn't overtake the length of our wave 3. So this is something that we'll have to see what happens. Do we get a bigger correction here, or do we not and we keep going? If the market continues up and invalidates the B wave, then my alternative count of it being a nest will be on the table. All right, so let's take a look at Bitcoin and where it currently stands. I said in all my previous videos that if Bitcoin is going to continue this run up for a bull run, it cannot break market structure. Breaking market structure would be breaking its 21 moving average, which is this white one, and breaking this prior correction. So as it stands right now, Bitcoin can come down further, but it cannot break this prior correction. If Bitcoin holds the 21 and pushes to the upside, this will be our new market structure break. As this bull run continues, no previous correction can be broken from this point forward, or it's going to invalidate the bull run. All right, so we're still in this sideways correction, and Bitcoin is struggling with its daily 21 and its daily 50. It has rejected at this point. Next level down would be its 100 moving average, and then its 200 moving average. Does have support sitting at approximately 51,500 at this little correction here. But if that does not hold, then it's moving down to the next correction. And this is the one that we do not want to see break. Right now, Bitcoin has tried to pivot off the 40. Okay, what we don't want to see is a rejection here or a rejection in this red zone. where the top of the band is sitting. We want to see Bitcoin on the daily time frame pivot to the upside and get itself back up above the bullish resistance zone from 60 to 70. I talk a lot about trending and the bullish and the bearish zones. This is taught extensively in my course. We need to see this transition hold. If Bitcoin is not able to do this and moves down and breaks 30, this is going to be a failed transition. Not that it can't recover, it can, but I just don't want to see that happen. I want to see it continue to trend from 40 to above 70. All right, so let's talk about the correction that Bitcoin is currently in. So far, it has had a 3-wave move to complete a WXY. At this point, Bitcoin had the chance to go bullish to the upside. So far, and we'll talk about this little wave here, it's pivoted off the 618 retrace, which is typical if it's going to reject. Now, because this move is not big enough in time, this blue line is minimum requirement to be a connector between this WXY and a partner leg. It means the one of two things. Either this connector is going to get bigger, meaning that we'll see a pullback, and then a partner leg or this leg. That way, the connector's big enough to give this correction a partner. Okay. Or it is connecting this leg to a partner leg. But the way you'll be able to tell is if this correction is broken. If Bitcoin is going to make a bigger connector here, then it needs to hold and not break this prior correction. So it needs to add a connector and then give this leg a partner and get up higher in this channel. This would be big enough to give this entire correction a partner. If it does not, and it breaks down and it comes through that correction, then it's giving this leg only a partner. Now, once that is complete, it will have a chance to go bullish. But again, if it adds a connector, then deeper it goes. Okay, so let's talk about the bull and the bear scenario on the lower time frame. Bull scenario is that this move to the upside is a diagonal, and that this pullback we're seeing is a connector potentially for a wave 2. So bullish option, this would be a 1, this would be a 2. It needs to hold the golden zone and then take off bullish to the upside. This is the most bullish option. The not so bullish option, but an option that we can get a move to the upside, is that the leading diagonal is an A wave, that this pullback is a B, and that Bitcoin plans to give a C wave to the upside to give that bigger connector. We will still get this correction over here, but Bitcoin, if it can get itself up higher, can move sideways in the channel that it's in. And then the bear scenarios, this is not a diagonal at all, is that it was just a WXY correction, that it's completely over here at the golden zone, and that this is the start of giving this leg a partner to the downside. Again, as long as Bitcoin can stay above 43,500 area, potentially holding this area as support, Bitcoin will be just fine. As you can see, we have a big insufficient area if Bitcoin was to lose this golden zone retrace. Okay, so let's take a look at ETH. And the bullish option is that it's in a series of a nest. that every one of these moves was a 1-2 nest. This area right in here, I'm sure some are wondering, why am I not labeling this 1, 2, 3, 4? And the reason that I'm not is because this move did not reach a typical 1.618 third wave extension. It is very more likely for the bullish option that it is an additional 1 and 2, especially for how deep it came. Invalidation will be at approximately 21.69, this low. ETH must remain above that, preferably staying on top of this correction. This would be a market structure break and also an invalidation for the bull scenario. Bear scenario would be that it has made a WXY to the upside. This would mean that this has been a bear market rally and that this leg will get a partner to the downside. It's not until we break through this area that that would be confirmed. Now, if ETH pushes to the upside, this becomes our new invalidation. That will be our new market structure break. All right, so far, ETH has made a 3-wave move. Question is this going to be a connector between this leg and a partner leg? Again, as long as ETH can hold this POC line and not come through it, ETH can still be bullish. Just like Bitcoin, it could put a connector here, give this leg a partner, and get itself higher in the channel. This would be a big enough connector to connect between this entire correction and a correction to the downside. But as it stands now, it's not big enough and would be just a connector for this leg. All right, so the bullish option for ETH is that this is a 1 and that it's currently pulling back for a wave 2. If ETH can stay above this support, it can give this leg a third wave to the upside. That would be the most bullish option. The not so bull is that it was an A and that this is going to be a B, but that it's still going to give a C wave to the upside, getting itself higher in that channel. And then the bearish option is that this was just a WXY rally and that it's already starting its way down to give this leg a partner. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments, think about the free Discord, and I will see you in the next one.